Well, Spiky joins me via Skype. Hello, Spiky. Yes.
Hi, Selena.
Great. The questions I have for you, data protection. Should we care if our personal data is even being sold?
Yes, we should, because first of all, we don't know who our data is being sold to, and that's the most important thing. A lot of these companies who require the data that they are buying are using them for purposes that may not really need. So let's say a lot of people are accusing some institutions of selling their data because they've been receiving calls from people offering them financial aid, all these loans and stuff. You get calls from companies asking you if you want to buy something. You're getting unsolicited text messages and all that. Now, all this stuff is worrying because imagine that you didn't subscribe for this, you didn't ask for this. You'd rather not have this, receive these messages and these calls. It's very, very worrying, and people should be concerned that their data is being sold.
But to the average Ghanaian, what does data protection even mean?
So the average Ghanaian who doesn't know what their data is, basically it's data that is about you. So you see how you are identified. For instance, your phone number, your email, your location, how you use the internet, how you even use electricity. A lot of things could be used to track you, to identify you. And some of us would like to remain anonymous. I'm sure you, Selena, wouldn't want your information or your data given to just anyone at all. Imagine that you're walking on the street and someone saw you and said, "Hey, Selena," next thing you know, they have your phone number. You wouldn't want that. You want to keep track of who you give your phone number to, who you give all your data to, so that you can prevent unwanted eyes or unwanted people from getting this data, this personal data.
Okay. In our own small way, what can we as individuals do to protect our data?
So, for instance, when you go to certain offices, you're required to write your name and then your phone number in a big book, and then you sign. Like, that is your data you're giving away. In your own personal way, what you can do is you need to know what that data is being used for, and what that is compulsory to give that data out. So, for instance, like I mentioned in the example I just gave, you go to an office and they ask you to write your name and your phone number. You need to know, why should I give my name and my phone number? What if someone comes there, is looking for me, sees my name in that book, and then just takes my phone number? Is that data really needed? And if you go to a bank, you fill a form, a deposit slip, and you make a mistake, you put it in a bin. I could go there and then go pick up that slip from the bin, and I have your information. So you need to make sure that all data that you're putting out there is very, very, very safe. And you need to also make sure that the company or whichever institution you're giving the data to is licensed by the Data Protection Commission to make sure that if in any way they use your data wrongly, you can hold them accountable. Because, imagine someone gets your information and then goes to use your identity to commit a crime. You're sitting somewhere and then you get arrested. How would you feel? I'm pretty sure it would not be a very good, feeling.
True.
To be picked up by the police for something you didn't do.
But quite often, I'm sure most people are guilty of this, as I am. We don't read terms and conditions. I know when we go online and they give this long terms and conditions, we just click it away just because we want to move to the next page. Isn't that an example of we giving away our data information to others?
It's a perfect example, and this is actually why we're here at the conference center for the Data Protection Conference. It's actually come up a couple of times, and one of the speakers did mention something about not, subscribing. A lot of people end up, most of these services that you give your data to because they're free, and then you know that if you're getting something for free, it's because you are right. Nothing in this world is free. So if someone tells you, "Hey, I can let you watch the AFCON match on my website for free," you should be worried. That person probably is using you to make money. And how do they use you to make money? Your data. They're selling you to willing buyers. They're selling you to businesses who want to market stuff to you, who want to sell targeted, show targeted ads to you. Imagine that you are, let's just say someone uses your computer to visit an adult toy site, and then that person is tracked. Next time you come to that computer, you get those targeted ads, and you start being shown adult toys. If anyone sitting next to you, they're going to be like, oh, so this is what you look for on the internet.
Yeah.
You see? Now, that's a bad thing. You know, that's something I wouldn't want to happen to me. Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't want that to happen to them, too.
Okay. My final question to you is that now that we've heard reports of the EC selling data or having sold data to private companies, what is the Data Protection Commission going to do about it?
This is a question I am itching to ask them. I won't lie to you. So we're on break right now, and when I go back, it's something I'm really, really going to bring up. Definitely the Data Protection Commission is going to look into this, and if indeed the Electoral Commission is found to be guilty of selling this data, they will be held accountable. And I believe people who are victims, if you are discovered to be a victim, sure, you could seek legal redress. Our data is personal. You should be able to sue a company who suffers from a data breach. Elsewhere in other countries, you see this happen all the time. Facebook was fined. EC should be fined. People who are, affected should be compensated. And then it will sort of serve as a deterrent to prevent people from, doing the same thing.
I do agree. Thank you very much, Kobe Spike Nkrumah, for that enlightenment. He's our very own JoyNews tech analyst. Let's take a short break and we'll be back with more stories.